Hello and a warm welcome to TBC News, our top stories. Vice President addresses COP29, stresses sustainable climate financing.
Will inform climate action or inaction for years to come.
UK channels 34 billion to Tanzania's health basket fund.
To achieve universal health coverage.
Good evening, I am Faida Ngaga. You can also follow us live via our YouTube channel, TBC Online. Also, get all the latest news through our Instagram, Facebook and X pages at TBC Online. The Vice President of the United Republic of Tanzania, Dr. Philip Mpango, calls on the heads of state and government of the member states of the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, COP29, to ensure that the financial commitments made are implemented in line with the agreed support of funds for the developing countries according to the urgency and effects of climate change. Here are more details.
Dr. Mpango made the call while addressing the COP29 meeting, emphasizing on consolidating the loss and damage fund to ensure that the financial backing is available according to the deliberations agreed in COP28 Dubai.
We look forward to a fit-for-purpose new collective quantified goal to replace the $100 billion goal agreed in 2009. This is indeed an opportunity to drive systemic change in climate finance, because what will be agreed will inform climate action or inaction for years to come.
Furthermore, the Vice President has called on the COP29 conference to give special focus to the issue of clean cooking energy during the discussion on climate finance, which is needed for mitigation because large-scale investments are required to significantly reduce emissions.
Let me emphasize that we cannot talk about a just transition without focusing on clean cooking. That matters greatly to the majority of Africans. About 900 million people in Africa still cook using biomass fuels, resulting into deforestation, loss of carbon sinks, and death due to smoke-related diseases. For this reason, my president, Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan, decided to champion clean cooking on the African continent, and we call on COP29 to take up clean cooking as one of the priority areas under a just transition and mitigation finance discussions.
The 29th Conference of the Parties to the UN Framework Convention on Climate Change, COP29, for the year 2024, focuses on solidarity in building a green world, which aims to encourage member countries to unite and put together efforts to combat the effects of global climate change.
The UK government has provided more than 34 billion shillings to contribute to Tanzania's health fund to be used for a period of 5 years from 2024 to 2029. Here are more details.
Speaking in Dar es Salaam during the signing ceremony of the additional agreement to the Health Basket Fund, HBF, Permanent Secretary and Minister of Health, Dr. John Jingu, said the funds will help to strengthen health services in the country.
Health Basket Fund is a vehicle, an important vehicle, an instrument in ensuring that we are strengthening our capacity, our capability to achieve universal health coverage. We have development partners. Let's work together to strengthen access to equitable and quality healthcare services in Tanzania. So that was the purpose, that was the agenda.
On the other hand, Development Director, British High Commission Olukem Williams, said the contribution is a part of the UK's plans to strengthen the existing relationship between the UK and Tanzania.
We aim to fulfil this commitment through our financial contribution of £10 million. I think that's about 34 billion Tanzanian shillings, just over the next 5 years through our contribution to the Health Basket Fund. And as I said, the Health Basket Fund has been instrumental, both increasing access, quality and equity of life-saving primary healthcare, but also helps end preventable deaths of mothers, newborns and children. Together with other partners, we aim to work with the government of Tanzania to address these issues, and particularly those of the disadvantaged, including the poorest, people with disabilities and people living in the remote or impoverished places.
Furthermore, Permanent Secretary Minister of the Finance, Dr. Natu Mwamba, and the Deputy Permanent Secretary, Dr. Grace Magembe, asserted that the health fund will help to enhance good health for all Tanzanians. The signing of the agreement has involved the Minister of Health, the Minister of Finance, Minister of the State President's Office of Region, Administration, and the Local Government, and the Development Director from the UK High Commission to Tanzania, Rukem Williams.
Stakeholders of defense and security from various countries around the world are in Arusha for a long defense course. Group 13, organized by the National Defense College and DC, focusing on tourism and how it stimulates the economy, which is an important pillar in strengthening security in those countries.
The head of the delegation, who is also the commandant of the Tanzania National Defense Colleges, Major General Wilbert Ibuge, says the program aims to equip the participants with skills and knowledge on defense.
We continue to believe at National Defense College Tanzania that matters of national security cannot and will not be treated as an exclusive domain of only the defense and security sectors. Everyone of all sectors, everyone in our populations, including non-state actors, the private sector, are involved in one way or another in ensuring the security of our nations.
While in Arusha, the participants have been trained by experts from various institutions on economic and tourism issues.
The main role of Tanzania National Park is to protect all natural resources, including wildlife and animals, wildlife which includes plants and animals, and the cultural resources within areas gazetted as national parks. Such resources contribute to the national economy. It's about 17% of the national economy comes from tourism, which are being which normally we provide those services in national parks.
Some participants say the training will be of long-term value with skills that will be of great use to the respective nations upon their return.
Of this course, we are expecting that to learn a lot about the economical issues and about the social issues.
Part of our course curriculum to visit Arusha and know the tourism here in Arusha. And as a course member, if you see, India and Tanzania, we go long back. We have relations long back. And especially Mwalimu Nyerere has been regarded as one of a great leader from Tanzania. And when I come here, I see, Arusha, this place goes back from 1967. I have heard this name, Arusha Declaration.
Stakeholders in the energy sector have been urged to take advantage of the investment opportunities in the natural gas sector value chain to help the country reduce spending hugely on foreign currency to import oil, whereby an average of $250 million per month is used for importation. The call has been made in Dar es Salaam by the Executive Director of the Association of the Oil Importers and Distributors, TAOMAC, Raphael Mgaya, during the Tanzania Energy Summit, which aims to unleash Tanzania's energy potentials.
The LNG project is going on well, and we were told that they expect to conclude the negotiation by end of this year. That's a huge project. So we believe that that project will unleash a lot of opportunities. And so we as private sector participants or stakeholders, we want to support the government in terms of actually showing the world the opportunities that are in Tanzania. So, but also we know that the current agenda for the government is to shift into clean energy cooking solutions. So we as energy companies or energy stakeholders, at the end of the day, we are the ones that will invest in those projects. So we want to show the world and our members as well that, okay, here is the opportunity that you can leverage in order to create businesses, for the betterment of your shareholders, but also for the betterment of the country at large.
On the other hand, the managing director of HBZ International, Herman Zaidin, says the forum is important towards the development of the country's energy sector.
Is Tanzania to global investors that Tanzania is a sustainable and sound investment destination. Again, Tanzania is a sound and sustainable investment destination for the energy sector. And that's why today this event was created to showcase Tanzania as an investment destination for the energy sector.
The Institute of Finance Management, IFM, vows to continue to cooperate with Birla Institute of Management Technology in India, BIMTech, in conducting research that aims to help the government to invest more in climate change mitigation and adaptation. Speaking to TBC News, the IMF board chairperson, Professor Emmanuel Mjema, says the first international conference aims to enhance cooperation in the research area to support sustainable development through research. Furthermore, the internal auditor from the Ministry of Finance insists the government is at the forefront in maximizing on these studies for the benefit of the people.
Global challenges need an international coalition to resolve them. Based on this philosophy, the IFM collaborates with various higher learning institutions within and outside the country to generate and advance knowledge that will confront contemporary global challenges and attain the necessary socioeconomic transformation.
This gathering is an opportunity to explore how our academic society at the heart of learning and research integrate with practitioners and policymakers to contribute to sustainable development.
Research and policy discourse around the topics are important if the countries and the entire global society are to realize the goal of building up inclusive development through innovation. The challenges we face now globally show us that none of us is as smart as all of us. Therefore, as researchers, professionals and practitioners, we have important roles to play in confronting these challenges.
In other news, the Capital Markets and Securities Authority, CMSA, says that the investment that will be made in the joint investment funds of iTrust will help increase the scope of access to funds to develop projects and boost people's revenue in cities and rural areas. The remarks have been made by the CEO of CMSA, CPA Nicodemus Mkama, during the launch of 5 different collective investment schemes. The joint investment pieces expected to be invested have a value of 37.5 billion Tanzanian shillings.
Collective investment schemes are going to be managed by professional fund managers who are licensed by the Capital Markets and Securities Authority, and these schemes have met the legal and regulatory requirement in terms of the requirement of the law as well as the regulations and different guidelines.
On the other hand, the CEO of the Dar es Salaam Stock Exchange, Peter Nalitolela, says the investment value of the funds will help to increase liquidity in the stock market, while the representative of the iTrust, Professor Mohamed Warsame, says that the funds provide an opportunity for all Tanzanians to invest at a low cost.
And as at the end of the day yesterday, our market cap reached 18.5 trillion Tanzanian shillings. And all the signs are very positive, and we expect the market capitalization to continue to grow. And we're also looking to the increase in liquidity as well as turnover.
The beneficial environment, the enabling environment that we have in Tanzania to allow for financial markets growth, to allow for new financial players to enter the industry. And we are one of the new players who are entering the industry as part of this enabling environment that we perceive in Tanzania. With 2 weeks left before the local government elections kick off in the country,
The Minister of State, President's Office, Local Government and Regional Administration, Mohammed Mchengera, urges journalists to adhere to the set principles on news delivery to avoid distortion of information during the election period.
Hatujafanikiwa kupeleka vitambulisho katika kila kona ya nchi yetu.
We have not managed to distribute national identification cards in every part of the country, but citizens are recognizing each other based on the environments they live in. We will be denying many Tanzanians their rights if we decided to use the national identification card. It is our significant responsibility as journalists and editors to adhere to the principles of information dissemination.
In case you missed any of our stories, remember, you can always go to our YouTube channel at TBC Online and watch anytime, anywhere around the globe. Now let's have a look at today's exchange rates according to the Bank of Tanzania, BOT. Do not miss TBC News every weekday to know all the latest in exchange rates. Time now for all the latest in international news. And here is international news as compiled by Lulua Mohammed and read to you by Teddy Barnyang.
UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres has called on world leaders to prioritize climate financing and warned that failing to address the climate debt would result in severe repercussions for humanity. Guterres made the call during his address at the World Leaders Climate Action Summit held in Baku, Azerbaijan, as part of COP29. Guterres pointed out that 2024 is on track to become the hottest year on record, following the hottest days and months ever recorded. The UN chief underscored the injustice of climate change impacts, explaining the rich cause the problem, the poor pay the highest price. The Secretary-General stressed the need to reduce global emissions by 9% each year and achieve a 43% drop from 2019 levels by 2030. He also emphasized the G20's responsibility to lead in fighting the climate crisis while affirming the UN's commitment to provide necessary support. Haiti has sworn in new prime minister hours after a flight from the United States was hit by gunfire as it made its final approach to the capital, Port-au-Prince. Alex Fils-Aimer was formally appointed on Monday by a presidential council after it fired the Caribbean nation's interim prime minister, Gary Conille. The new prime minister said during the swearing-in ceremony that his first step was to restore security across Haiti. Fils-Aimer, a prominent businessman and former president of Haiti's Chamber of Commerce and Industry, takes office at a challenging time for the Caribbean nation. Recently, the Transitional Council, responsible for guiding Haiti back to democratic rule, has faced allegations of corruption against 3 members, further complicating the government's efforts to regain stability. President-elect of the United States, Donald Trump, will meet with President Joe Biden in the Oval Office on Wednesday. Incoming First Lady Melania Trump has also been invited to the White House to meet with First Lady Jill Biden. It's tradition for the outgoing president to host the incoming commander-in-chief after the election as part of a peaceful transfer of power.
That was international news as read to you by Teddy Paranyanga. Sports news up next. And in sports, Simba Queens head coach Yusuf Basigi says they will play with high football discipline when they face their arch-rivals Young Princess in tomorrow's titanic clash in the Tanzania Women Premier League match to be played at KMC Complex in Dar es Salaam. Coach Basigi adds that although they are used to be dominant to Young Princess, but they believe their rivals have improved as of late, while Young Princess head coach Edna Lema says they have mastered what it takes to outclass their rivals.
I think that I respect our opponent very well, and it's going to be a very good game. It doesn't matter the situation on the ground now. We are leading on the table, and Yanga is also struggling to catch up. But that notwithstanding, I think that it's going to be a very interesting game.
Simba Queens are on top of the Tanzania Women Premier League table with 9 points after playing 3 games and winning all, while Young Princess has 3 points after playing 3 matches and drawing all. In other sports news, national baseball team manager Abubakar Rajab says consecutive competitions, especially towards the end of the year, dominated by many local and international competitions, is crucial in building a competitive national team. Abubakar insists great response of the regions brings enthusiasm for the game, especially towards the Kosheni competition and the league final at the end of the year.
Baseball has grown significantly compared to 12 years ago. Back then, we had the only competition in December. And in some years, we didn't even have any competition. Now the sport is growing with different regions participating despite the high cost and the need for specialized equipment. As you can see, we have had competition for 12 consecutive years, which hasn't been easy.
That's been sports news. And now before we wind up the news bulletin, let's have a look at the weather forecast for the next 24 hours.
Hello dear viewers, and thank you for joining us for the next 24 weather forecast. By starting with the patterns, and for tomorrow we expect the light wind of 20 km per hour for the entire water bodies, and the state of the sea is expected to be slight. And for tonight we expect the entire country to feature particular conditions. While for tomorrow we expect Kigoma region, areas around the Victoria Basin, Tanga region together with the Ngoja and Pemba islands are expected to feature particular condition, thunder showers over a few areas and sun periods. While for the Dar es Salaam together with Pwani region are expected to feature particular condition, rain showers over a few areas and sun periods. While for the Arusha, Kilimanjaro, Manyara, Morogoro, rain together with the Mtwara regions are expected to feature particular condition, light rain showers over a few areas and sun periods. While for the rest part of the country are expected to feature particular condition and sun periods. Let us see the next 4 days forecast from different cities and regions. Dodoma sun period is expected and maximum temperature 31 degrees. Mbeya maximum temperature is 26 degrees. Mwanza thunder showers are expected and maximum temperature is 30 degrees. Kilimanjaro light rain is expected and maximum temperature is 34 degrees. Morogoro maximum temperature is 33 degrees. Arusha light rain is expected and maximum temperature is 29 degrees. I'm Rebecca William from Tanzania Meteorological Authority. Thank you and have a good night.
On that note, we're ending our news bulletin for tonight. Do not miss our next bulletin in Kiswahili at 11 p.m. I am Faida Ngaga. Good night.